In the UK, one of the things that made a big difference about getting research into practice was money. So there's a list of things that the British Health Service is required to do, and hospitals get more money if they do it. So for example, if a patient's had a heart attack, they should be getting statins. If they don't get statins, they take the money away. If all of the patients are getting statins, they get more money. And we got tranexamic acid incentivized. So hospitals now get more money if they give tranexamic acid. And that made a difference. So this was when they started funding tranexamic acid use, when the financial incentive came in. And the use increased from about 0% to 90%. So hospitals in the UK really respond to money. They get most of their money anyway, but they get the bit extra or a bit less they care about very much. If the budget might be, 100 million, but whether it's 102 million or 100 million makes a big difference to them. So they care about that, the bit at the margin. So that made a big difference. Now, by this time, we were doing the trial that Utsuko Okamoto wanted us to do. We were doing the woman trial. And it was a trial run by women. I was involved. I'm the director of the clinical trials unit. I work with this woman called Halima Shakur, who's the co-director. And it's been very interesting. I'm a white man, she's a brown woman. Wherever we go to get anywhere, everybody thinks I'm in charge. It's just what's happened. I get promoted faster than she does. We do the same work, but it's just being a white man. It's easier than being a brown woman, and so I've just noticed this from my time with working with Halima. We're co-directors of the clinical trials unit. We've done all of our trials together for the last 20 years. And I will go to a meeting and people will stick out their hand at me and say, tell me who you've brought with you. So I found it very sort of difficult, embarrassing over the years. But I told you that, I told you the other day that I'm only good at some things, and I'm not good at other. Well, I'm good at some things and not good at others. And she is very good at bringing together lots of people in trials. So this is the woman trial in Pakistan. It was our biggest recruiting country. Every obstetric hospital in Pakistan took part in this trial, and she just makes that happen. She's a genius in this social thing. I mean, it's difficult in Pakistan. So, obviously it's a Muslim country. Men don't really interact with women in the same way, but the women, they hug each other, kiss each other, and the men, but they had a very good relationship, and it really expanded the trial, and the trial went very well. And it was funded by the Department of Health, the Wellcome Trust, and Bill and Melinda Gates. So this time, we got a very nice result from the woman trial. The treatment was equally effective as it is in trauma. Now, I told you that I went to the Department of Health when we got a good result and asked for $500,000. They gave us 10,000. I went to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and asked for £100,000, and they said it's not enough. They said, you need more than that. And so this was really interesting. I mean, they've got deep pockets, I know, but I think it's because they know, because they're business people themselves, they know how important dissemination is. So when we went with them with our plan, and we didn't ask for $500,000 because we didn't think we'd get it, 100,000, they said, well, that's not enough. Go back and make a better plan, come back, ask for more money. So we had a much, we had a, you know, even before, oh, hang on, sorry, let's have a look. So we did all sorts of things. So we started thinking of the trial results as like a film, you know, like a film release. And we actually made a trailer to the film. So we made a trailer, sort of a warning that the film is coming, the results are coming.
I believe that research is good because it is through research we're able to see the problems that are involved and find solutions to them.
So we had more resources this time because Bill and Melinda Gates know how important it is, and that was just advertising that the trial results were coming. And so when the results came, the results were really good. They were exactly the same as the trauma results, which is very good because it makes you more certain about both of them. You know, the fact that, you know, they're very similar problems, you know, and you got a very similar result, I think makes you more certain about both of those results. But then we had so much more preparation. We just got a huge, big media hit at the time. So Melinda Gates tweeted it, and Tedros, who's the Director General of the World Health Organization. So lots and lots of people, we got something like 800 items of news coverage, social media, 80 million somethings, whatever happens on social media, I don't know. But, we just got a much bigger hit. With the Crash 2 results, there was almost nothing in the media at all. But we made it different. Unfortunately, Utako never got to see the results of the woman trial because she died at the age of 98, 2 weeks before we finished the trial. So I used to say that Japanese women live forever, but they don't really live forever. They're almost forever. And so this is her grave in Kyoto, actually. So this is her haka in Kyoto, and where her husband's grave is. And then I started realizing, actually, we haven't got the right story. It's not a story about persevering. It's a story about discrimination. And it's a story about sex discrimination. That Utako, you know, it's partly the fact that she's a woman that actually, you know, it took her so long to get this intervention, because what she told me is that they invented this drug as a treatment for postpartum hemorrhage, and they wanted to get the local obstetricians to try it in postpartum hemorrhage, but they wouldn't. And all of the local obstetricians, the obstetricians were predominantly men, and they wouldn't really have it. They weren't interested in testing this. And we started to see it more of a problem about discrimination. And we got some lovely, while she was alive, I took some films about, some film. 'So she told me lots of stories about that. I mean, the sound wasn't so good there, but basically she went, her and a colleague, female colleague, went to a pediatric conference, and they were sitting at the front looking very interested, and this pediatrician came along, a man, and said, "Look, what are you two doing here?" You know, out. You know, she was kicked out of the conference for being a woman, and he said, "These conferences are not the place for women and children." So, and I captured lots of information about her. We don't want to hear it again. So, so with the woman trial, we started to put the story of tranexamic acid inside the story of Utako's life. So we realized that the only thing that transmits in people's minds is story, right? So somebody tells somebody else a story and they remember it, and that's how information is transmitted in humans. And so if you want to spread information to other people, you have to put it in a story. And the story carries the message like a mosquito carries the parasite for malaria. You know, the story takes it from person to person. And then, so we've been starting to do that. And that work is still ongoing. We're now just finishing with this funding that we got from the Gates Foundation. We've made an hour-long documentary about tranexamic acid, Uta Okamoto, postpartum hemorrhage, discrimination against women, and we hope, I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I still haven't seen all of the filming, but we hope that this will help to carry the story of tranexamic acid into the world. So in summary, I think that's like in 2010, I started to try and find out about how to disseminate results. And the key thing I learned is about story, I think. And it's, I think it's sad that there's such a sharp divide between art and science. That, you know, you've got artists over there, scientists over there, but actually the world needs them both, because the artists are very good storytellers. So I think scientists need the filmmakers, the anime, and why have we got anime about rubbish, you know? Why haven't we got anime about prevention of depression or the treatment of schizophrenia or, you know, tranexamic acid in trauma? You know, that we should be, there's no reason why culture can't be informed by our scientific culture. You know, why do these two cultures have to be completely separate? So I'd love to see a way to, you know, to bring art into the university, even the science, you know, the science university. Science is culture. And we've got to get our results not into scientific culture, but into culture, proper culture, the whole world culture. And that's when things will change.